to House Parties. I heard student night was amazing.
I think so. We had some pretty awesome games. We had some pretty close impossible shots.
No way, really?
Like really close. I think Joey suffered a little bit though.
Oh.
He got hit a few times. But
Ouch.
you know, so at least it was worth it, right? Even if no one made it.
Yeah. Yeah, I heard the penny game ended in this like very virtuous, selfless, like the two finalists sacrificed their pennies at the same time.
They did, and it was really cool, although we only had one gift card. So I'm not sure how they worked that out, but I think it turned out okay.
Just cut it in half.
Yeah, cut it in half.
Each gets a half. That's incredible.
Like you can do with money.
That's right. Yep, just cut it in half. I'm bummed that I missed it, but I'm really glad I'm back. Welcome back to House Parties after a week, and it's really good to see you. I don't think we have any major announcements for the coming week.
No, I don't have any either, I don't think.
Okay.
We're good so far.
Cool, right on. All right, well, it's time to dive immediately into slices. Huh? Yeah. So Landry, who do you want to go first? Do you want to go first? Should I go first?
I'll go first.
Okay.
Okay, so a man in Hong Kong was trying to pick, I believe it was nuts out of his tree.
Okay.
And so he filled up a hydrogen balloon, while harvesting, pine nuts. And the wind picked up. He was found 2 days later, almost 200 miles away from where he originally started. That's so funny. So, yeah, the man had been working alongside a colleague on Sunday, lost control of the balloon. His colleague jumped to safety, but the man...
That probably didn't help the guy, because, like, that...
Now
lost half of its weight.
Yeah, and so...
And like, no.
Yeah. They had to trace his phone signal. 500 people partook in the rescue. He said he almost gave up and just let go.
Oh my gosh.
But he hung on for 2 days and survived.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy. Where did they find him? Like, was it in a remote region?
I think they found him in I'm not sure how to pronounce the name, so I won't try, but a province in China.
Wow.
About almost 200 miles away, or 300 kilometers.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny.
And I think it was in a very tall tree. It had eventually gotten caught.
Wow. The fact that he's okay makes it really funny.
Yeah, if he wasn't okay, it'd be tragic.
Holy cow, that's crazy. This isn't a slice, but it is something I realized. For the first time, maybe ever, I am on this side of the couch.
Oh, see, I wouldn't know that. I'm still new. So, is there any problem? Are you having disorientation?
It's quite nice. It feels very nice. This side of the couch is nice. I'm right-handed, so it feels nice to just... All right, anyway. Okay, so my slice.
Yeah.
There is a man who is working on the future of lawnmower technology.
Okay.
And he has created a prototype for a laser lawnmower that cuts grass with a laser.
With a laser?
Like a laser beam. This laser is 8,000 times more powerful than like a laser pointer. Yeah.
Just to cut grass?
Just to cut grass.
Why?
It's an early prototype, so this laser lawnmower takes about a week to mow a lawn. And if you look at the lasers for any period of time, you will go blind for the rest of your life.
Oh.
So there's some small hazards.
Small hazards.
It'll take you a week and you could go blind, but laser lawnmower.
Laser lawnmower. Mm-hmm. You know, it'll be ready just in time for there not to be grass in anybody's lawn, because it'll be the future.
That's right, yes. Man, I look forward to that day. That'll be nice. All right, everybody, I saw a house with AstroTurf just around the corner from here.
That's right, it's just outside here, heading towards Greeley
brilliant.
Central. Yeah, I mean, it's gonna be green forever.
It's true.
You
You're
never
never
have
gonna
to
have to mow
water.
it. You kids won't be asked to go weed the lawn. I think it's brilliant. All right. Well, okay. That was slices. Okay, so we are starting a new series because we just finished the last one, and that's what you do when you finish something.
I think that's a really good reason
Yeah.
to start a new series because
Yeah.
you are done
Yeah.
with the last one.
Yeah, but we also actually really care about what this series is about.
Absolutely.
We take a lot of time thinking about, it's like, man, like what would you guys love talking about? If you have any ideas, like send them our way. But this one's already set in stone, so you're too late. But for the next one, maybe we'll use your idea. We are calling this series Why? Because it's a question a lot of you are asking about specifically this whole existence of God, following Jesus, being a Christian, aka a follower of Jesus. Like, why? Why should I believe in any of this stuff? Like, why does this happen? Why does God do stuff like this? There's a lot of really big questions that all of us are asking. Not just you guys, but like me and Landry and Steven.
Absolutely.
Steven's back there. Hi, Steven. Steven said hello. Yep, I don't know if you heard it or not, but he said hello. And this is also kind of a really big season in your guys' life where some of you, you've grown up going to church, or maybe you have parents who have been following Jesus for a long time, and they've told you that these things are true. Like I'm teaching my kids these things that I know to be true, but they're just kids, so they don't, like, they're very trusting. And
Yeah.
and so maybe up to this point, you've just been trusting that like what your parents or leaders or like whoever is in your life teaching you these things is true. But now you're like in the spot where you're asking for yourself. It's like, but is it really true? And you're asking for yourself, it's like, why should I believe in any of this stuff? Something we say a lot, usually towards the end of these videos, is wherever you're at in the spirituality spectrum and journey, you are so welcome here. Like, this is a safe space to ask questions and to doubt things and like to have like critical thoughts and like questions about things, because a lot of us, we've been saying things the same way over and over and over and over, and we've kind of lost track of like how maybe, like, I mean, think about it. It's like we believe that there was a woman who all of a sudden got pregnant with no outside help, and this baby was born, and it's a human being, but he's God. But he's also the Son of God, but God is this Trinity, and they're all God, but it's weird. Like,
And a lot of you guys probably grew up hearing this.
Yeah.
Not all of you, but
Yeah.
some of you who've grown up in church. And there was, like Stetson said, there was probably a long time of you guys going, oh, yeah, the Trinity of God, that's something I believe in. But then
Right.
you sat here and you thought about it and you went, how does that really work?
right, for sure.
And I hope that somebody has given you space to maybe ask questions like that, because it feels wrong
Yeah.
to question these things, because maybe if you grew up with it, I mean. But, you know, I think that these are important things to think about
Yeah.
when you're growing in your faith.
Yeah.
And yeah.
For sure. And if like what Landry just said, it's like if no one has given you a space to ask these questions, that's what we're trying to give to you in this series. Like, this is the space to ask those questions. So here's what the next few weeks are going to kind of look like. Each week, we're hopefully going to get one or more of your leaders to come here and kind of share why they believe, like what their experience has been. Not to tell you why they're right and you're wrong, but just to like share their experience. But also, each week, you guys are going to be coming up with questions to send in to us, and we're going to be spending this time talking about these really fantastic questions that you guys have. So that's kind of the flow. I felt like I had a burp coming, and I just kind of like shoved it down just now.
Well, I think we all appreciate that you did.
Thanks. I don't know. Some of you would have appreciated me burping, but yeah. Hi, 7th and 8th grade groups.
We're talking to you.
You are my people. I love
Yeah,
you
but
guys
please,
so much.
if you've got any questions,
Yes.
really, honestly, we would like to hear them. Maybe if you're nervous about just saying it to a leader, maybe your leader can come up with a way that you write it on a piece of paper and put it in a hat to give
for
to
sure.
them.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Or maybe you are just comfortable telling your leaders any questions you have. That's cool, because if you've ever had a burning question that you would maybe like us to talk through, and we can't promise to have every answer ever, but we can certainly talk through them.
Yeah.
We want to be able to do that for you. And so if you've got something, share.
Like, where did the name Toast come from? It makes no sense.
Yeah.
No, we're hoping it kind of like falls within just the topic of God in general. Okay, so like we said, we're going to be hearing from a couple leaders, but as of right now, it's just you and me sitting on this couch.
Just us.
And Landry, you have just joined us in your position, which I'm super excited about.
I am too.
So I think it would be good just in this first one to hear from you, and then I'll go after you. So it's like this is your job. You spent your whole life like leading up to this. Like, you care about this stuff. Why? Like, why? Why, Landry?
Oh,
why?
man.
Why?
Okay, so if you want to know, I'll tell you a little bit of story, and I'll try and make it a bit concise. Is that there have been times in my life where I actually tried to not end up in ministry.
Nice.
My dad would always say, Landry, if you could do anything else but be a pastor, do it.
Yeah.
Because he knew it's a lot of hard work, and God calls you to do some pretty wacky, outlandish, and hard things sometimes.
Yeah.
And so why did I choose to do it? Have you ever heard the phrase like, I didn't choose the God life, the God life chose me?
Oh, I hate that. That's so dumb.
Yeah, it is pretty dumb. Stephen, if you have time, a graphic. I didn't choose the God life. The God life chose me. But anyway, but in my personal life, there have been times, and not every situation and not every encounter with God has this type of clarity. But there have been situations like where we're camping and a friend of mine would wake up and say, oh my gosh, we need to pack up. There's a fire coming. And all of us are like, I mean, I was 16 at the time. I was like, that's really dumb. There's no fire. We're out in the middle of nowhere. It's fine. And then the next day, we're out eating lunch somewhere. So we were like not camping. We were like staying in a lodge near-ish civilization. And we see on the news TV that there's a fire coming over the mountain.
Crazy.
And we were all packed up already because she was just freaking out, and we all thought it was kind of silly, but it turned out to be something that could have very well saved us a lot of trouble at least.
Yeah, for sure.
And so little things like that, not things that are like, wow, cinematic, movie crazy, giant stuff happening.
Yeah.
It's just little things like that. You're like, how the heck could that have happened if
Yeah.
not for God?
Yeah.
And that little things like that have really strengthened my faith, because me as a person, I don't go looking for that stuff. There's a lot of, like, when I read the Bible, the way I grew up studying the Bible, there's a lot of validity in there, and that's what really strengthened or really foundationally for my faith. But the thing that really built on that and strengthened it was little moments like that where oftentimes I was proved to be kind of the one with the foot in my mouth, because I was like, that's dumb, no, I don't want to pack, it's the middle of our trip, that's really dumb, I know you think you're hearing from God, and I believe in God, but I don't believe it. And then a fire comes over the hill.
Yeah.
Little moments like that have been like, wow, God's looking out for us in little ways like that. That's really cool.
Yeah. That's awesome. And for me, so I believe these stories in the Bible are true.
Right.
But, like, there's kind of, to a degree, there's only so far that those can go, because those are stories about things that have happened. The things that really, like, stick out to me is the things that I've experienced that totally line up with the things that I've read in this book. I think a big one is how universal of a language love is, and then how the Bible is just saturated in love. Like, I see the heart of God expressed in the Bible when I see like a family interacting together in the way that it should, when I feel the way that I do towards my kids. So the last house party 2 weeks ago, Stephen and I, we were talking about the Holy Spirit, and I used a couple of illustrations, but I think it applies to this too.
Sure.
Where it's like, we talked about, it's like you see someone listening to music on headphones and they're dancing down the street, and it looks really ridiculous when you're not like, I
mean, maybe you're a person that goes, oh, that's really cool, but to the majority of the world, they might be okay. Even if you think it's kind of cool, you're like, okay, but what are they really doing?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
A couple years ago, we did a silent disco, which a lot of people have been asking to come back.
Yeah.
But
so
like,
I've heard.
But if you've ever done that, you take off the headphones, it's like, this is madness. Like, this is insane. But you put the headphones on, it's like, oh. So, I don't want to take too long here, but it's like, there's all these ways where I see everyone dancing. And the Christian faith, the stories of Jesus and who God shows himself to be, gives this soundtrack that lines up with what everyone is dancing to a point where it's like, how could it be anything else?
Right.
On top of that, things like you were talking about, things that I've experienced of just like weird coincidences of like, so I went, the reason why I wasn't at student night is I was hunting with like two of my friends. We had this incredible spiritual experience, and like, I was in this hammock by this lake and had this huge realization of something, and all of a sudden the wind picked up and there's just like this spiral in the water, and then it just got dead silent. It's like, what the heck was that? It's like, that could be coincidence. But on the way home, like, someone emailed us and they had this dream about 3 animals in the backcountry: a badger, a deer, and a fox. And one of my friends has always thought of himself as a fox, and my other friend a deer. And it's like, oh my gosh, I'm the badger.
You're the badger.
And like looking into like badgers, like, holy cow. It's like, so God is like telling friends about like this experience that we're having in the backcountry of just like weird stuff like that. But also, like, we talked 2 weeks ago about like the Holy Spirit and just like sensing, just like, I don't know, it's like, it's such a felt experience of just like, oh my gosh, like, how could this not be true? So it goes so far beyond, it's like, oh yeah, the stories in the Bible make sense, because the truth is a lot of them, they don't make any sense.
No, not all of them.
Like a whole baby born without a dad, like helping, and then it's God and the Trinity and stuff. It's like, it's
hard to comprehend. I mean, even something as much as like a guy living in a fish's stomach for a
right,
while and not dying.
Yes.
I mean, if you've ever thought that sounds a little weird, you're not alone.
Or like the whole Noah's Ark story. It's like, that's extreme for sure. But it really is. It's like, man, the experiences that I've had, my life has been this experiment of like, okay, I'm going to try living by what was written in this book.
Right.
It has gone so well for me.
Yeah.
It has checked out. Like, every time I have taken the advice that God has placed in the Bible, it works well for me. My life is in such a good spot because... and I'm not talking about the things that I have, like I have a family, a house, stuff. No. But just like the joy that I have in life, I don't know, man.
Just from deciding to look towards Scripture as a guiding principle or a guiding, like, just things to live by.
Right.
And those things being things God has expressed or said. And,
right.
And just being better overall for it. Can be proof enough for God's existence. I mean, I've seen that too. In fact, I heard a pastor one time say, like, or have a friend say to them who wasn't a believer in what Jesus said, he said, my life has been better for following your Jesus. Which is strange, because he didn't believe Jesus was God.
Right.
And I believe that story actually ended. I think I heard that story from a pastor down in Georgia while that was still going on. And I think since then it's come out that that friend has come to Christ.
That's crazy. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's a really cool story, but like, it's really cool because he was following the words of Jesus and finding them valid and right and fruitful for his life.
Yeah.
And it led him straight to Jesus, which is a really cool, like, why should you follow Jesus? Because he's got advice for everybody in a way, you know what I mean? And so that just came to me. That was a cool story.
Yeah, that's really cool. Sweet. Well, so yeah, this is kind of like a different series where, I mean, Landry and I, we totally believe that you should believe in this stuff because we've just been so convinced that it's true.
Absolutely.
But every single one of us needs to ask this question. It's like, why should I believe? So this is a space to ask questions. So please take time in your home groups, figure out what questions that you want us to talk about here, what you want talked about in your groups, like stuff like that. We're really excited to have these conversations with you, and you're brilliant, and you ask such good questions. Yeah. And I hope you hearing this is like, you guys value experience so much, like you're really critical thinkers, which is so cool, because it's like, if this doesn't check out, I don't know if it's true. That's a great way to go about thinking about things. It's like testing if it's true. So yeah, we want to give you the space to really ask these questions and have these conversations. So, yeah. All right. Maybe we should leave it there?
Let's leave it there.
Okay.
Ask away, guys.
All right. See you later.